From Rixie, this is Debuff, and I'm your host, Steve Skeels. What's going on, Debuff fam? Welcome back. I got the boys here, of course, Sean and Mason. I'm Steve.
What it do?
Today, just wanted to say before we get started, Debuff's 50th episode, so happy 50th anniversary, as Sean said.
You know, it's been 50 long years, and really, really proud. No, I mean, the first, how long was? How many weeks did we do 2 episodes a week?
I don't remember. It was like whenever we started till almost, I thought it was almost October when you went to Nova.
That sounds about right. Or actually, it might have been August because that's when I started.
Okay. Either way.
What was that like for you doing 2 episodes a week?
I was at home quarantining, working, and then I pretty much would just do that after. I mean, I wasn't doing shit. So it kind of gave me something to do twice a week, and we're doing like shorter episodes at the time, so it was probably still about the same amount, even if it was more topics, just like less to talk about.
Did you feel like bogged down at all?
No, I didn't.
By the workload?
No, not really. I mean, again, at that time I was new and I wasn't doing anything else with my days, so
I mean, it looks like all the way up until August.
Yeah.
Yeah, August.
August.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that what we said? I wasn't listening.
That's what Mason said, yeah.
August is when I started to work a lot, and so I think we probably had a conversation, and we put it in one of the episodes. We're like, "Hey, we're going to go down to once per week," and yeah, you know. But I think, I mean, did you see on that what number episode it was? It had to be.
No, it doesn't. You don't have the numbers on here.
Did we start in May? I think it was May.
I mean, I can keep.
I don't know.
Going backwards. Hold on.
But I feel like it was, I don't know, like
regardless,
30 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the reason I ask is because we knocked out like 30 episodes or something in the first couple months, and so yes, it's the 50th episode. The 50th anniversary.
Yeah, but it hasn't even been a year.
But it's a cool milestone.
Yep.
And I think all of us subconsciously were like, man, I wish we started the like discussion side of it on the 50th, but we were like 2 or 3 episodes short.
Yeah, that's what you said. I didn't really even think about it, to be honest.
I guess I'm just,
no, it would have
trying
been
to
cool.
be cinematic about like,
yeah.
Oh, on the 50th episode,
Season 2.
Changed it up.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't matter because it's...
Yeah. Now we've got the greatest crossover of all time. It would have been great if we did.
Yeah,
50
exactly.
before that.
And now we can actually talk about it and not make a big deal about it being the 50th and it being also the first time that we talk. So, yeah. Let's run down the list, dude. What do we got?
I guess first thing you wanted to talk about last week. So I guess I'm happy that we didn't right away because they changed branding to Lucasfilm Games, right? And Wow, that's crazy. I mean, that's not really a huge thing on its own. It's a name change, but at the same time, they came out and said that under Ubisoft, Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment, the company that makes The Division, is going to be making an open world Star Wars game.
It's true.
It's true. And
it's true.
They also said that I guess the Indiana Jones game going to be published by Bethesda. So that's kind of cool. Don't know what that's going to entail, but
yeah, I'll be honest. Sorry. I don't love seeing Bethesda show me minuscule trailers for more games when we have nothing for Starfield and we have nothing for TES6.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be a different team. Like, I don't think...
Who's it going to be? Why are they not putting all their assets into the games that we actually want to play? That's the question I have. Like, oh, great, you're doing an Indiana Jones game. That's so cool. I want, I don't know, Elder Scrolls 6, for fuck's sake. It's been...
So the developer...
9 years?
The developer is Machine Games, the company that made Wolfenstein. So it's not like it's the same team that would be working on
Okay.
Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want to make id Software, who makes Doom, go and work on Elder Scrolls just because they need more people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm just like the baby crying in the room
No,
every
no.
time we talk
So
about this, but I mean, I want the game,
the thing is,
dude.
I am right there with you. I want it now, but I'd rather them work on it and make it good and not rush it than and also not do what every other game developer is doing right now, where they like spoil 90% of the game and then it comes out and then everyone's like, this isn't what you promised me.
Well, they did a good job with Fallout 4. They announced it and it came out like less than 6 months later. Wasn't it like 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy because they don't normally do that, and I feel like that was kind of hype, right?
Yeah, that was dope, and I think Fallout 4 definitely had its pitfalls, but for the most part, it was pretty solid. I mean, all I can think of is that clip of um, Todd Howard being
Yeah.
like, "It just works," and it doesn't.
He's ridiculous.
Those are in
You
those
need
are in
that-
those
you need that-
YMFAH videos.
You need that on the soundboard.
Yeah.
Every time,
Just works.
I know. Every time YMFAH, that guy that I recommended in episode 48, whenever he does a glitch in the game, he puts it just works. It's so bad. It's so bad. But you're right. I think giving away the game and hyping it up a ton has people. I think the expectations get set a little bit too high, especially with Cyberpunk, like you said, where now Cyberpunk is like 50% off on Steam or something.
Well, a lot of games do shit like that, but yeah. I don't know. I will agree with what the fuck has Bethesda, the studio that actually makes Elder Scrolls, what they've been doing besides porting Skyrim to everything, because they don't even work on Elder Scrolls Online. Like, that's a different studio, right? So I don't know. Seems like it's been much too
quite
long.
a while.
But that's probably why they drop trailer or teasers for Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield, just to say, hey, it is coming, guys. Like, don't think we're not doing shit.
I mean, when I think of it, if I could say one thing to Bethesda, I would say,
okay, well, that's unprofessional, strikingly unprofessional.
Yeah.
because like I don't care about Indiana Jones. I
Well,
care
that-
about
yeah.
Starfield and I care about
Again-
TES6. Fuck you guys.
But you
It
gotta
just
think
works.
They're just the publisher, though. So
I know, but I think this is the longest time between Elder Scrolls games. Is that right?
yeah, I think we talked about that before.
Is 8 or 9 years, something
Yeah.
like that. 2012, I think, was Skyrim. But regardless, we spoke about something yesterday, briefly, and it was about is it Ubisoft or is it Ubisoft? Is it U?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say Ubisoft.
No fucking clue.
That's what I say, but it might be Ubisoft. I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter.
Boobysoft.
I don't really buy
We
most
talked
of their
about
games.
Ubisoft doing these tech demos, and they ended up not being they ended up being better looking than the actual release, like Watch Dogs and The
Far
Division.
Cry, and yeah.
And I don't know. Do you guys have any input on that? Because you said like hyping things up.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, I feel like that is such a like cardinal sin.
it pisses me off when they do show, or any developer shows this like really fucking awesome looking game, and oh, Jesus Christ, what was it in? Was it in the Game Awards? There was some game that they were showing that it said in-game footage, and it looked fucking incredible.
Was it Watch Dogs or was it The
No.
Division?
You're not talking about what's that game you played recently? Ninja Theory game.
I haven't.
Did they do it again?
No,
Hellblade.
no,
2?
dude, that game
Yeah, the Hellblade
was
2.
fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But no, that game looks awesome. It was
I think that was a CGI trailer, anyways. But
the Game Awards 2020 announcements.
well, I
To
guess
fill the time. I
Well,
think
yeah, let me
like,
say-
yeah, go ahead.
what I was saying is it sucks because I don't feel like they necessarily do it on purpose, but it's become like a meme, of course, and Ubisoft was really guilty of it. A lot of companies have done it, but they create the games in their engine on a PC, and they make it, and then they have to scale it down to get it to run on consoles, which I understand, but when they go and show these in engine footage like videos and they try to show it off, yeah, it gets people's expectations up. I don't really care that much about graphics, but if you're gonna show something and have it look awesome just for it to, you know, have a side by side later that's clearly much more inferior is pretty, I don't know, fucked up.
It's true.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I have no idea what the game was called, and I'm kind of
Okay,
pissed about
that's
it. But
it'll come to you like
I'm
3
sure
hours
it
from now.
will. It looked like a game that I probably wouldn't play, but the trailer that they showed said actual in-game footage, and it looked insane. But like, I always feel like I have to hold or take that with a grain of salt because when it's released, number one, console's never going to look as good as they show. Number two, do I have a graphics card that can play it at that? So I mean, I always think that's part of that. Where they're releasing these games that look cutting edge, but you have to have a 3090 to fucking play it at that
Yeah.
scale.
But
Yeah.
I think PC gamers know that, right? I
Right.
don't run anything past 1080, partially because of my monitor, but partially because I don't have a computer that is that good, right? But console gamers expect that what they're shown is what they'll get.
I mean, there were certain games I could play with that 4K monitor
Right.
on the 2070 Super that like Doom would run fine, 60
Yeah,
FPS.
that game's hella optimized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. But still, like, I mean, I feel like that is a lot of like reviewers use that
Yeah.
as a
Like a
benchmark.
benchmark.
Negative.
Yeah.
yeah. And so, like, to me, that shows that my computer is powerful to run games in 4K. I could only play Outer Worlds at 4K at I'm sorry. I could only play Outer Worlds at 2K 60 FPS. It still looked great, but I know that I'm not getting the full
Yeah.
4K out of my
Monitor.
monitor and my old graphics card. So
Wow.
Yeah, I think that I'm sorry that it's just so
Wow.
funny to me. I love the soundboard. It's so fucking funny.
I want to say it was Century of Age of Ashes. Maybe that was the one I was looking at. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the point that I made to Steve yesterday when we talked about it was, I don't know if you remember, but it had to be at least 5 years ago, probably more, when Battlefield 4 had the like 20 minutes of gameplay footage released, and they had just adopted the Frostbite engine. Do you remember the Frostbite engine? And it looked so good. It looked amazing. And then when the game actually was released for, I think it was 360, it looked true to that image. And I was just so impressed by that. And so now whenever I see anything from Ubisoft, I feel like I have to take it with a grain of salt. Otherwise, I feel like what they need to do is say, this is the specs that we're running to show this gameplay demo.
Yeah, I think that would be useful. I mean, now, like we said yesterday too, that they always put at the bottom more so than they used to, like, beta footage, alpha footage will change for final product. They have to have
Yeah.
all of this like caveat to it so that people don't come back, because there's tons of side by side videos out there of whatever games you're talking about. Watch Dogs is notorious where they'd show the lively city and then trash. And that's part of what's happening with Cyberpunk. Granted, high-end PCs are running that fine, but
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I completely just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
well, I will say sometimes this is overblown while we're on the subject
Oh,
still.
It's Crowbcat. That's what I
What is
was.
that?
Yeah,
Crowbcat,
dude, I love
the
him so
YouTuber.
much.
He's the guy who has helped to poke holes in Ubisoft's shortcomings. He is a YouTuber that I don't know if he sources the clips all the time or actually creates them himself. Crowbcat, Crowbcat. Awesome YouTuber. Hasn't uploaded in a while, which is unfortunate. But
He did upload a Cyberpunk
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
2077. It's like
Yesterday.
41 minutes. Yes,
oh
yeah,
my
yesterday.
gosh. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that. I
2
have
million
not seen
views.
him in my sub box. Maybe I was like accidentally unsubscribed. But he shows the tech demo. He shows a piece of it, and then he shows in game
Yeah.
where
the same spot.
the same
yeah.
exact spot.
I think I've probably seen some of it then.
and everything's softer. Everything doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
And I understand that Ubisoft is trying to sell their game, and they're gonna like jack up the textures for that tech demo, but unfortunately, we have people like Crowbcat now who will like really like take you down a peg if you fuck up. And so, I don't know, I would rather see a more realistic copy of the game as a tech demo than I would as like, oh, look how good it could look.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was Crimson Desert. That was the game that looked really good, and afterwards we should watch the trailer because it blew me away just how good that game fucking looks. And in the beginning, they're like actual in-game footage.
Is that like action?
It's still a work in progress.
RPG, kinda.
Yeah, open world action adventure game. It looks like it's gonna be third person, which is probably why I won't want to play it. But
is it PC only?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really love the third person open world stuff. Like I did like Breath of the Wild, right? But
yeah.
I've been trying to play The Witcher. I spent money on The Witcher. Maybe I just need to keep playing it, but I kind of got bored with it after a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's my hot take, is that game isn't as good as everybody else thinks, but it's fine.
I have not played it yet, and Maddie keeps trying to get me to watch the show, and I'm like, I haven't played the
show's
game.
good.
Yeah.
You don't have to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, I feel like I should. I just want the show to be called The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Just like, people are like, wait, what about the other two? But I want to go back to Ubisoft for a second because I have been, over the past couple days, buying a lot of physical DS games, 3DS and regular DS games, and I had heard that Rayman had a DS game. I didn't know if it was a port or not, or if it was just like, oh, Rayman, but on the DS, and it was like an updated version or whatever. And to my surprise, I found Rayman at a like used bookstore in Manassas, and it is the same one that I played on the N64, and I'm loving it. I sent a photo to my brother Tanner, who was on the show last week. I was like, dude, do you remember this game? And he was like, hell yeah, I love that game. And it's just really cool. It just goes to show you, like, I'm so nostalgic about those old games, and I'm so glad because, like, the music and like how you traverse through the first couple levels, like, I remember so vividly. Like, did you guys ever play Rayman on N64?
Yeah.
There's a part, like, the pirates are kind of like the bad guys.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you have to stand on this part of the level, and he throws like a bomb at you, and it opens up like a different part of the level. And like, I just remember that like the back of my hand. And it's just really nice to have nostalgia kick in. And now that I have it on a portable console, but I picked up I picked up a bunch of things today and the day before. Trackmania, didn't know that was on DS. You guys, I don't know how you get.
I don't really play racing games.
Listeners, you need to understand, they don't know what Trackmania is. They need to get their fucking shit together. How do you not know what Trackmania is?
Dude, how do you know what Trackmania is?
Dude, the speedrun community in Trackmania is insane.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't really play racing
Yeah, I mean,
games.
do you remember Revolt?
It sounds familiar.
That would be one of like my top fucking racing games ever. Was N64 game.
Oh,
it was. You ran around as little remote control cars.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I think did LGR do a video about it?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I do know about it. I never played it. I never been there, but I heard about it in a book.
Yeah, that game was my shit. Mason, I see you also have all of the games that you purchased.
Yes, and they just saw me run away. Trackmania DS. Is that gonna? This is definitely not autofocus. Trackmania DS. Rayman 3D. Great game. Went out on a limb here. Really big fan of golf games. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2005. That's an old one. Dungeon Explorer. We said that. Paper Mario Sticker Star. FIFA Soccer 12. Not that fun for you guys. I know sports titles. True Swing Golf. Ultimate NES Remix. Don't know if it's going to be good or not.
I mean, it's got NES games on it.
It's got NES games.
Although you could probably play all the ones on
with
there
a
on your
twist.
Switch.
With a twist.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, I
Link
think it is
versus
remixed.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
It's true.
they're not just the games. I forgot about that.
Boo versus Kirby.
Don't know anything about this game. It's called Dream Trigger.
That game's tight.
Let me see that. when
Is
you're
it
done.
is it just like a shooter, like an arcade style
shooter?
shooter?
Yeah,
but
it
like
is.
in 3D.
Yeah,
That's your shooter?
Is that your shooter?
it's
Um,
cool though.
I picked this up. So I grew up playing soccer. Got Real Soccer 2009. It was $1. I think it was 95 cents. I just wanted to try it because, like, you know,
You didn't get Ronaldinho soccer?
Ronaldinho soccer. Ha 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 ha. Ja 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 ja. I got a handful more. Let's see. Grid. I got Grid racing game.
I do know that.
FIFA Soccer 06 because apparently sports titles. PES Soccer 2011.
Jesus Christ.
Just pick a year, bro.
I know.
What's the difference?
Actually, those are probably all pretty different.
PES and FIFA are the
Yeah.
two competing companies.
But what's real soccer?
But the thing is, Real Soccer.
It's not the artificial
It
soccer.
looks like it's made by like Dance Dance Revolution.
Interesting.
Oh, Line Rider 2. So this was interesting. So I sent Sean and Steve a photo of my proverbial haul, and in that haul was Line Rider 2. And for most people listening, if you're on the same page as us, we didn't know that Line Rider had a DS, or at least I didn't.
Yeah, I did know. Sean said he didn't, but I don't know. I mean, I
I
definitely
always assumed Line Rider was a like. Oh shit! Sorry, dude. That's gonna stay in. I always assumed Line Rider was a Flash game.
Yeah, they put it on mobile also a long time ago. They had the DS game. I don't know, man. I played a ton of. I feel like Sean, you didn't play that many DS games.
I played it in fucking graphic imaging class and
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I did not know they made a DS or mobile port of that game.
I didn't either.
Is this allowed?
I didn't know that, and I saw it, and it was
Insta buy.
like no money. I think like maybe $5. And I always loved playing Line Rider. Now, one thing that I did say, and I won't take up all of our time here talking about my fucking stupid games. The story mode, which I had never seen or heard about, is really difficult. Now, it's difficult for one reason. You have these they like give you these pre-drawn courses to go through, but you have to fill in the gaps. Like, do you need a speed up line? Do you need a slow down line? Do you need a normal line? But the way that they connect to the lines that are already there are like really fucking janky. So
Yeah.
like you'll just like fall through.
Yeah,
even
you
if
have
there's
to
a
make
line
them
there.
like slightly under it so that you don't bump into it.
Yeah,
and
you have
shit.
to like make them longer.
Yeah.
And it's been really difficult. I've actually had a lot of
Yeah.
trial and error.
I hear that.
While we're on the topic of DS games, and I'm sorry to just change the subject.
I don't care.
One thing I really miss are these little stupid fucking booklets.
Yes.
And one thing that always cracks me up is that there was always like a page on the back, like for notes. Like
Oh, there's a notes page?
who's
Yeah.
writing in their book, number one. The other thing that
my
I don't
gosh.
know why they did
Oh
this
my god.
is they always had in the DS,
Is this allowed?
the original DS cases, a spot for a Game Boy Advance
yeah.
game.
Oh, really?
Like, why am I gonna put? I mean, I guess maybe if I'm gonna bring two games to my friend's house, I can bring a DS and a Game Boy
That
Advance
is
game
super
in
weird.
one
Yeah.
case. But most people are doing what you're doing. Well,
you thumb
they
through
put
it.
them in a case and hold them there. I
Yeah.
see you keep them in your
So
Switch
you don't
case.
have to carry 5 boxes to.
Right.
Yeah. I don't love having all these boxes, but there is something really
Yeah.
good feeling about having a physical copy.
We used to get rid of our boxes for like DS and Game Boy games for a lot of them.
Well, the Game Boy ones were
cardboard.
cardboard.
Can y'all
Yeah.
see that? Look in the monitor.
But now I definitely keep all of my boxes.
Yeah.
So-
And I mean,
Let me hold this
I
up.
do feel like that's
This is one bucket of pancakes.
I do feel like keeping the box, and Danielle, sorry girlfriend, She does not like when I keep boxes for things that are, but I am obsessive
She's
about
definitely listening.
but right, sure, but I don't know what it is. But if I get a product, and I know this isn't entirely about video games, but I do have my Animal Crossing Switch box, and I'm never gonna throw that away. Like, it has artwork on it. Someone spent time making that artwork on that box. Almost every single phone I've ever owned, I have the box for.
Well,
Like,
there is some resale value if you can keep it in good shape.
I do feel like I understand keeping some of them. I do that with some things, but yeah, the phone box thing, I've never like some of them I have just in drawers or whatever, but you had them in like display case. Like
I
you
do
want
have
to
'em
just
in-
have them all.
Oh, you do?
I have them in a display
Okay,
case.
That
It's not
is
like-
too much.
It's not like you can see. No, it's his case of like, his tchotchkes, his like
I've still
toys.
got
and
all
then-
my-
bric-a-brac.
I got all my amiibo in there, all my little. I have a statue of Alduin.
Yeah, but there's just one shelf with boxes on
I
it.
keep the boxes, but keeping them in a glass case.
You stupid.
You fucking stupid.
Well, so I don't know. I mean, I can understand. I've kept for
Or no, I would actually say,
Bruh.
bruh. We need the My Name Jeff. We need it on here. Yeah, I can't justify keeping. I have like iPhone boxes, but they're like stuffed in a box in a box.
But doesn't it make you feel a little guilty throwing it away?
No.
Like,
well,
an
they're
entire-
beautiful boxes. Yes.
An entire marketing, like an entire department was like dedicated for however many months to designing that fucking box. And I'm just gonna open it up, grab my product, and throw it away.
for
like-
some stuff, yeah.
I don't throw it away, but I'm like, thank you, box, for this. Like, I'm gonna put this in the corner.
I think it would be really cool to make like a mural on the wall out of all the boxes that I have. Like,
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. Just different shaped boxes all kind of lining up different.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck
What
you.
the fuck is?
No, I mean, I don't know. I can't justify like displaying them unless it is in great condition and it's like a phone. It's like if I had like the original iPhone, for example, like the first one that shipped in a box, even ideally sealed, like that is a piece. Or like
I feel like
a
it's
phone
different if
that you
it's
really
sealed.
like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
talking about
sealed
empty-
box. Yeah, I'm talking about. I take everything out of the box, throw
Yeah.
all the papers away, but keep.
Where do you keep him? How do I not
So,
know where this
because
is?
I don't really show people my box collection.
But it's not like it's in a fucking figure shelf where he's got each box nicely on display. He's just got them on a shelf. It's in the
Yeah.
corner in the wooden
you,
chest.
you
with
know
the
where all
glass.
my amiibo are?
Yeah.
Right next to Lena's desk.
Oh yeah,
That big. That
I barely look over there.
Yeah, but that's
sorry, guys.
regardless.
Regardless, I mean, that's cool. Yeah, all of these boxes, all of the games are gonna get taken out of the boxes,
And the
Can
boxes
y'all
are
see that? Look on the monitor.
and then
the boxes are probably going to go in that box.
the boxes are gonna go in the box across the room because Maddie does not want to look at them, which I get. But I have a YouTube rec.
Do it.
Pivoting here. So 2 weeks ago, I started watching this guy. His name is Tito. His YouTube channel is called Macho Nacho Productions. He kind of has a similar vibe in content to Retro Future, the Retro Future, the
Oh my God.
Retro Future.
I love him.
Elliot Cole, where if you don't know who the Retro Future is, he does a lot of handheld gaming content, modifications, like history stuff, and Macho Nacho does like, I mean, the first video I saw of his, let's see, what was it? I think it was a like Sega Game Gear USB-C power chart like adapter like
Yeah.
to charge it. And then I went and watched a few more. He kind of has like a newsy like news speak voice, but his videos are really clean and he's got cool like RGB colors and stuff. But he's done a couple videos of these modifications of like brass and metal Game Boy and Switch Joy-Cons where
Oh, that's pretty
it's
cool.
it's just the case or it's the
The shell.
shell,
Yeah.
sorry. And dude, I would kill to have a metal case, metal shell, and brass button.
I can't imagine the pieces are that expensive if you do it yourself.
If you do it yourself, yeah. But the pieces that he buys, he's like, these are like pretty expensive. Because, I mean, dude, to have somebody like mill nice metal is expensive.
The plastic stuff's cheap because they just cast it.
Exactly, in like molds. But yeah, he's got these. He did this Game Boy Color in a metal shell with brass buttons, and I was like, man, that is so dope.
There's a couple people I follow on Instagram, and if I could remember my Instagram credentials, I would tell you the name of the one I'm thinking of. But there's two others that I want to talk about. One of them takes.
These are Instagram pages?
Well, no, this guy sells these products. He creates something called the Neon Advance.
I think that it might be his page.
No, yeah, that's one of the. There's a third one I can't remember.
Okay.
But he takes a.
What's the name of this guy?
Well, his
Neon
website's
Advance.
Yeah, Neon Advance.
Oh, sorry, I see Joe Bleeps.
Yeah, Joe Bleeps, I think, is the guy who is actually making these products. But he makes he takes a DSi and breaks the top off, but then fills it with like a light. And it looks super cool, and then it's just a Game Boy at that point. Now,
don't they call them Game Boy macros?
Yeah, yes, that's another term for it.
Retro Future. That's why I know
that. There's another one.
The Micro Boy. Come on. I don't need that macro.
Esoteric Mods, they do some really cool stuff where they rescan and add backlights to Game Boy Color Advance and original GBA. And then, man, the other one I'm thinking of.
If you're listening or watching, the link to all of these things that we're talking about are in the notes of the episode, so check that out.
He makes like a Chroma Works. That's what it's called. Let me get to the fucking website.
Your connection is not private, fam.
He does these really sick looking, just white Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Switch.
It's cool.
And I mean, just do
it's gonna get dirty real quick though.
Yeah, I mean, but he does black ones too, which look really fucking cool.
That is what I would put in a glass case.
Yeah, I mean, they're beautiful, dude. They
that white
really
Game
cool.
Boy is fire.
Yeah, they look awesome. He makes black ones as well. But the white for me, it's
This is Chroma Works.
Chroma Works.
It is cool, but I remember the like white PSPs always got dirty as fuck because you're just always.
Yeah, I mean, your grubby ass gamer hands, dude.
For portables too, like you're throwing them in your pockets or bags. You know, I got dirt in my pockets, and suddenly
you got to have Gamer Gear Cleaner Ginger.
Yeah, I mean, we're sponsored today by Game.
Dude, I need the Gamer Gear Cleaner Ginger sound effect.
I mean, I do think that there's something like super aesthetically pleasing about white consoles
for sure.
or white electronics. Like,
if you can keep them clean, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I had what was the Nexus 6 in white, and that phone was like notorious for getting shit on it, and people were putting it in their pockets and pulling it out, and it'd be like tinted blue now because.
Yep.
But I mean, this phone is white but it's glass, so you know it's not going to.
It's protected.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to absorb color the same way that plastic on the Nexus 6 did, but I don't know. Anyway, these guys are really cool. They do some really sweet mods, and I've many times been tempted to buy one of them because they look so fucking cool. But
are they expensive?
AF.
I will say the any of those channels that mod stuff.
This is our wallets when we pay for them.
Yeah, they are. But that stuff's really cool, and I wish that I was savvy enough to just do that on my own. Because watching the people like the Retro Future just being like, well, I got this in and it's broken, so we're gonna try to fix it today. Like that's really fun, and I wish that
I love.
I would try that. That I feel like is easy. Like,
yeah, and he buys them sometimes for like $10 and just
taking them apart, putting them back together.
If you have a soldering iron,
it's not always necessary because a lot of them are little. I don't remember what. Jerry Riggs Everything always refers to them as Lego connectors because it's just something you open up, slide the ribbon in, and close it down on most of those electronics.
Yes.
If they're fucked, yeah, you're going to need to learn how to solder. But, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen... Actually, I have seen him do it. It's very rare that he opens up something and has to resolder something to the board.
Yeah. He's been doing a lot of Sendico videos where he, like, gets a lot from, like, a Chinese or a Japanese or a Chinese company. I don't remember. And, like, yeah, some items will be fucked. But it is really satisfying to see somebody like clean and restore, like especially like a broken lens of a Game Boy Color or something.
Yeah.
You know what I really want is a Game Boy Light. I think that the look on those are so sweet.
What are you talking about?
I think it's LITE, Game Boy Light. Is that what it's
You're
called?
not talking about the
Is
micro,
this
dude?
official? Are you talking about the micro, the tiny one?
No.
You're not talking about one just a backlight?
It was the Game Boy. It was like the thin Game Boy that came out.
SP?
No, it was in the first like round.
Talking about the DS Lite?
Oh, yeah, you're right. There was a Game Boy Light.
Game Boy Light.
Yeah, but the Game Boy Color?
No,
No.
it wasn't even color.
It wasn't color. It was still a
Regular
black
Game
and white
Boy.
screen. But
Yeah.
there's
Oh, okay.
but the original Game Boy, as you
I know what
may
you're talking
know,
about.
is a thick boy. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
and when you put it in your pocket, it's big, and your pocket says
Nope.
So, I mean, the Game Boy Light, I would love that in all white. That would be really cool. That'd be a cool piece to have.
Yeah, it looks like they're all silver or this like nasty looking gold.
Yeah,
But-
but see, I love that look. And dude, you should see how thin it is. It's
I'm
actually
sure it
pretty
is.
amazing.
Oof.
But speaking of consoles, that Mario Switch
Yeah.
that came out. So what's the story behind that? Explain it to me.
I guess so if you haven't seen Super Mario 3D World's getting a new release on the Switch, and it's
That's
Super
right.
Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which is just another game mode. They haven't really said that much. I'm sure maybe some more news came out, but I just watched the trailer. It looks like, I don't know, do you know 3D World or 3D Land on the 3DS? They're
I have been searching for it in person in retail for what has to be like 9 months. And what's so funny is I went to East Starland and I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm buying it. And then their computer network crashed and they were like, we have to close the store. And I haven't been able to get it because I
Okay.
really I don't want to buy it online. I want to walk away with it.
yeah, well,
And so,
regardless, it's a good game. It's
but I know about it and I want it.
they're just like basically the way the 2D games are, get to the end, get to the flag, but they're 3D like platforming, right? But it looks like Bowser's Fury is more open world or whatever. I don't really know yet, but it's open. There's giant Super Saiyan Cat Mario and like Giga Bowser, or people were calling it
Wow.
Calamity Bowser.
Dude, it's Gigantamax Bowser.
Yeah, Gigantamax. It's ridiculous. I don't know what that's all about, but this looks
True.
like one of the last things for maybe Mario's 35th anniversary, whatever. But then they showed off this like blue and red Nintendo Switch for Mario coming out alongside the game.
Well, one of you guys texted it.
It was me. Yeah.
You put it in the group chat, and we were all like, "Yo, we got to get that."
I mean, that looks pretty sweet.
It
I
looks
can't
so cool.
justify a third Nintendo Switch. I
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
even own two of them.
I would love to have a second one.
No, you wouldn't. I thought I would. The game, like cloud save bullshit, it doesn't work as well as I think that it should.
I feel like also though I don't know what happened to you. All of my saves transferred, so I don't know
So it wasn't. It's not even about that. It's
Oh,
just like
to use
I'll
both.
I'll play on one and go to pick up the other, and it's like, hey, your cloud save is out of date on this. You got to download the newest version of whatever your game is. So like your saves are not automatically in the background being transferred to both devices.
Yeah.
You have to update manually, and then also the Switch, their secondary console has to connect to the internet every 24 hours. So if
What?
Well,
it's to stop like piracy, right? So
well,
That is ridiculous.
The only thing I'll say about the saves, though, is that, yeah, they could probably have it work a little bit better, but they also probably don't want you to fuck up
Sorry,
and
it took
have a
so long.
save, like, overwrite one by accident. I
Yeah.
remember back in the day on, like, 360, that happened to me where I had, I don't know, Gears of War. I played at Dylan's, and when I went to log back on to whatever Xbox at home, it overwrote my cloud save because it was technically the newest one since I just loaded up the game. I don't know. I mean, Steam doesn't have that problem. It works fine with its cloud save. So I'm sure they could do it, but it's fucking Nintendo.
That shit hurting.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it is a really cool looking console. I'm not a huge fan of red, but that does look really sweet. And I don't know why they're doing it, right? Because I feel like they're gonna have
Yeah.
another Switch Pro or something around the corner.
Dude, they've been saying that for a year.
Well, hold on,
bro. When's it gonna happen?
People have been saying that for years, but really, the Switch is only 4 years old now, so it's not like it's been around forever. I could see them still going a couple more years. I just think, again, we already have 2. This has no updates. When we got the Animal Crossing one, it was the one with better battery life compared to the
original
base version. So,
oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know there was
it's
actually
like a
any
Mark
technical
II.
improvements.
yeah. They didn't advertise it.
Yeah, I never saw. I only saw it advertised as essentially a skin.
Well, no. So
A skin update.
The boxes are different. So even on the ones that aren't Animal Crossing themed, if you go to the store today and you go and buy a new one,
it's like the red box or whatever.
Yeah, the box is different and it has a different processor, which in turn gives you better battery life. But that's about it. So,
yeah, I mean, would I buy a Switch Pro? What do you think is going to be in a Switch Pro?
Well,
a 1080 screen.
I don't know. I mean, bigger screen up to the
4K
bezels.
I would like to see a wider screen on that body, right? Like a bigger screen on the body.
Yeah.
I'd like to see 1080p on that display. I'd also like
Which
to see either.
Seems easy.
I mean, I would be fine if they were 2K on TV, right? I mean, 2K on a 4K screen looks fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to pack that much power into a system that small.
No.
At least now. So I don't think we'll see that.
Best case scenario, it's 1080p, and then it's just stable 1080p when you plug it in on the TV.
I mean, because right now it's variable frame rate, so you'll be playing Breath of the Wild, which says it's 1080, but really it's 960 at some parts of the game. So
yeah,
or even 60 frames per second. Like I played all the way through Breath of the Wild, right? Like great game, fucking love it. Danielle started playing it again recently, and every game I've been playing on PC is 60 frames per second at least, if not more. And turning around and looking at her playing that game, I was like, oh my God, there's such a difference.
There is, but I think that there's something really beautiful and cinematic about 24 and 30. Like, I know that I'm in the minority there, but like,
if it was just stable, but you go into that forest and it's just choppy as shit.
Yeah. It's not stable. I think the easy things that they could do for the Pro would be a bigger, better looking screen, like less margin, less bezel, more storage internally. So right now it's 32, quote unquote 32. It could be 64, it could be 128. It could be as large as 500.
They won't fucking do that.
They would never do that. But if you're looking at the Pro model and you want to spend big bucks, maybe you get like, $250 even. But other than that, like, what can you really add?
I think.
What are the speculations?
I mean, a lot of random. Basically, what we've just been saying. Better screen, maybe bigger. My problem is that they got to make it so that your Joy-Cons still work on it, or else you're gonna have to have new Joy-Cons just for if it's a larger screen.
Which would be a mess.
I think they could keep the body size the same, but stretch that screen a little bit more. Like, that is a lot of bezel on that.
A lot
device.
of bezel.
Right. So I get they could do that. That's fine. Better battery would be cool. I'd honestly just want more stable games. I mean, they could make it more powerful where maybe it does output 2K, but I feel like that's going to be a tall order for what I can't imagine they're even going to. I don't know. What's the most you could see them doing? I feel like 400 in the day of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X being $500 is
a regular Switch right now is $299. Maybe a little bit less if you get it used. I don't know, 400, maybe 450, but at 400 or 450, I need some serious.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're going to
serious power.
If I were Nintendo, I'd be keeping the price the same.
Yeah, they're going to make it $300, and then they're going to drop the regular Switch down to maybe 200, and make the Switch Lite 150.
Point. You really think that?
I definitely think. I mean, I feel like what they've been trying to do is, and they've been doing it for a while, is not follow the norm, not follow the market, and do whatever the fuck they want to do. The Wii was also what, $290. It was only like $300, right? The Wii U, again, pretty cheap console. The Switch, I mean, I was blown away when they announced it, and I was like, oh my God, that's going to be so expensive. And then it came out for $299, and I bought it the minute I saw it in the store. Like $299, it's not chump change, but it's it's easier
It's
to
reasonable.
justify blowing $2.99. That's why I have 2 fucking Switches, dude. I was like, I need the Animal Crossing one.
I get it. I mean, and honestly, I would love. I think I would like a Switch Lite.
Well,
which are what, 200?
Yeah. So I mean, that's fair. You could. I wanted to get one to bring around, but like Sean said, the whole cloud saves, it's not as easy. But I don't know. I feel like they're gonna keep it cheap. That's why I don't think they're gonna do too much with it. I almost say too that I could see them not doing a quote Switch Pro and they just do like a Switch 2 or whatever they'll call it, and make it like the 3DS to the DS where it still plays Switch games, but Switches aren't going to be able to play like Switch 2 titles or something. And
Yeah.
I've heard
I hadn't even thought about that.
but I've heard some
That
people
could be a
saying
serious
too,
issue.
people would be like, maybe it's going to be like, to use this as an example, iPhones where they're just going to have new models as years go by, right? That become more powerful, and you can play everything past, but there'll be games that are like only on the Switch that came out this year, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, indie games, it's not like, I can't play Shovel Knight on the new Switch and the old Switch or whatever. Like, that stuff will probably work on all of them.
Yeah, but it's the more intensive titles. Yeah, that's
Especially
a good point.
Probably all of their first-party games, I would guess they would do that with.
Maybe, I mean, probably, but
make them like backwards compatible and playable.
No. I'm saying that exclusive to the new console.
Yeah.
So like they release Breath of the Wild 2 whenever they do that.
Dude,
but maybe when they come
that
out,
would hurt. That would really hurt.
They come out with the new 2D Zelda game and it works on both because it's not as demanding or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they want to keep doing that forever, but if they should not get rid of the Switch idea, right? And I can't think of anything that would work better unless they do something like that, as opposed to going around and being like every 5 years there's a new Switch and now your old one just gets tossed. Even though they're basically the same.
Hey, we're all pulling on the same oar here, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think a great episode has been had.
Yeah,
we went a little over.
We went a little long, but honestly, I think we'll probably end up making 45 minutes the time. Who fucking cares? I saw the 30-minute mark,
you
listeners,
said, let's go.
and I was like, dude, I'm not fucking done.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean,
All
I think I said this before. I now understand how some podcasts are 2 fucking hours because
I think we could very easily probably go for another half hour and be okay.
I do feel like we see each other often enough that at least we get some of this out outside of that. So
so much of our conversations outside of the podcast, every time I feel like I'm like, man, we should be talking about this on the show. Like, we should be saying this on the podcast.
Yeah, we were not going to talk anymore outside of this room.
Yeah, we're just like nodding, like, I'll tell you on Monday. I'll tell you that. All right, get us out of here, dude.
Yep. Thanks for listening, guys. As always, Debuff. Check us out on Instagram. We posted a video version of the last video and now this one. So, check that out even if you listen to the audio.
Yerp.
Happy 50th anniversary.
Dude, 50 years, man.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time.
50 years.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week.
See you guys.
Later.
Debuff is hosted by me, Steve Skeels, edited and mixed by Mason Carlton. Follow us on Instagram at DebuffPod. That's Debuff, P-O-D. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.